In the past, you would sequence single genes and report the results individually. Nowadays, you sequence all coding exons or the whole genome. And the question is then, how do I efficiently get this onto paper for these many patients? And also, explain it to the clinician and discuss it with the tumor board.
The user then wants a precise analysis of the tumor. He wants to know exactly what the driver mutations are, meaning the decisive mutations that cause this tissue to degenerate more and more, and which drugs are then useful to target these mutations.
A precise query to a well-organized database gives me a clear result.
The software gives me information on indication-related diagnostics, for example, on drugs for which there is already an approval. But MHGuide also indicates, and this is at least as valuable, which variants or gene mutations are being investigated in clinical trials, in which patients can then be included.
This report indicates what are potentially effective treatment options. It also notifies when so-called resistance mutations are found, and this is based on so many publications. A physician or pathologist would not be able to look up and read through all of them in a reasonable amount of time. That is where we provide support.
A major advantage of MHGuide is also that it relieves me of the search work by already providing me with the relevant publications for the respective mutation. This means that I don't have to laboriously search for each individual variant. Instead, it is right there, neatly cataloged. And when I need it for the tumor board, it's only one click away.
So I can turn my focus back to correlations, which I can then use in therapy.
The software does not take the decision from you. There must be no mistake about that. Instead, we supplement it with facts, with proven knowledge that comes from clinical trials and peer-reviewed papers. But the decision still must be made by the tumor board, by the treating physician.
In a period of about 2 days, I receive the information that I might otherwise only be able to gather with a lot of effort and a lot of overtime, provided I have access to all these search engines.
This is another advantage of MHGuide, that it standardizes reporting. It must be obvious at a glance on the first page. What is the mutation and what is the possible treatment option? How safe is it and how objectively provable is it? And then it can be applied in practice.
One can also make MHGuide widely available, and thus make this knowledge available to all pathologists, to all users, and to all treating physicians. Finally, to provide the best treatments to the patients.
That, I believe, is what we need today. Software-assisted solutions for new approaches in molecular biological therapy.